Hey folks, Keith here from Dual Sport Journey, and we're back in the shop with another unboxing and assembly video. This time we have the Lifan KP Master, and we won't waste any time. We'll get right to it. Overall, I think everything looks really good. All right, I'll get back to work. So I hit a little snag here. I was going to put the handlebars on. Tried getting a wrench on this. I can get a wrench on this nut right here, loosen this up so I can adjust these, but you got no room to turn it here. And of course, as soon as I try to turn this whole unit, the forks, they're bolted into the frame. So once I unbolt that, this is all going to drop. It's not going to be stable. Plan B. I'm not sure what plan B is right now. I'll take a minute here and maybe we'll just kind of sort of try to do some sketchy stuff and just kind of wing it and get it off this base. I'm hoping this stand right here will hold up the back end of the bike and kind of balance it, and we'll get this off this base here. So when mounting the front wheel, find your speedometer sensor. Okay, now this only goes on one way. There's a groove right here, and that goes into this little stud that's sticking out on the forks. So that's gonna line up just like that. And this little spacer right here, okay, that goes into the wheel on the disc brake side, just like that. I'm just gonna put a little bit more grease in there before I put the wheel on. I think I have everything here. Here's the axle, here's the spacer, and I've got these turned around and aligned in the position. And then I'll grease up this axle really good. You kind of want to grease everything, as you go on this. So we'll do that next. Okay, I feel much better with the front wheel on now. I got that stand out from underneath the bike. Everything looks pretty good now. It's sitting there nice and solid just on the rear stand. So I think that'll be fine. I really needed to do that because I got to be able to turn this front column back and forth. so that I can get underneath here, underneath the risers, and loosen that nut up so I can adjust these risers so I can get the handlebars mounted up. Well, so it looks like these handlebars really kind of took a beating on the way over. They're marred up pretty bad. One thing I did want to show though, when you're installing the throttle, make sure you have the throttle in the right position. You can see there's a hole right there. And then inside the throttle housing, there's like a stud that protrudes right there. You just line that stud right up inside that hole and then tighten everything down. And then you're assured that everything is lined up the way it should be. Okay, so we got the handlebars all mounted up. We got the front brake and the brake reservoir mounted up. We got the light switch housing and turn signals mounted up. This pretty much is the same kind of deal as this. There's a little stud inside this, and then there's a hole in the handlebars. So there's no guessing where it should be, or it just basically locks into that hole, and that's where it sets. So clutch lever, everything installed. And of course, you know, when you're installing these small nuts, use something small to put those bolts in, because you can snap them. You get on there with, you know, a large wrench or something, you can strip them or snap them. So I like to use just a little 1/4-inch drive for stuff like that. I did notice that these come with the regular threads for, you know, your standard mirror, which is nice. The mirrors that come with this bike are the kind that mount off here and kind of come up. I don't know how I'm going to like that. And to be totally honest with you, I'm just going to get some mirrors just to go in here. So the instructions, by the way, they're not very well detailed. There are instructions, which is great, but they're not really detailed, and the photo illustration is not that good. But basically it shows you next how to fasten the exhaust up. So we found the bolt here in the parts. We found the washer that fits this bolt. So we put this washer in between this rubber mount that's in here and this. There's no lock washer in there this size. I think it should be all right. I'm going to put a bunch of blue Loctite on those threads and then put that nut on there and get that fastened up. All right, so with the rear exhaust bolt in place, all tightened down with Loctite, the instructions show the installation of the heat shield for this part of the muffler. So if we come over here and see the instructions, muffler guard installation. So it looks like we got the bolt, a lock washer, a regular washer, and then like a little heat shield washer. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like they're using right there between the heat shield and the exhaust. I happen to find these, and it looks like exactly what they're talking about. All right, so I've got the heat shield installed, but then I got looking, this little tab right here, I'm wondering what the heck is that for? Well, this bike is killing me with these just little things. You know, I thought this was going to be a pretty quick, easy assembly, but there's a lot of just little things on here. Anyways, this part right here goes right in there. Okay, so I basically just got to back this back off, and this inserts in there. And then this little guy here was in that little bag with the other bolts, tucks right inside of there. And then that little tab right there hooks right in that little piece of rubber. So we'll get that installed. All right, with the heat shield installed correctly now with that little front piece, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the front fender here. So I laid the front fender just in place there. So what we found in the parts were these brackets. So one of them is gonna have a hook, so that's for your brake line. This mounts up just like that. And then these will mount right against the fork like that. And what I found is this style bolt right there is what holds this and these on. Okay, you'll find 6 of these. All right, so you'll need 1, 2, 3 for each side. Okay, we got these brackets mounted up, all Loctite, tightened up. Now it shows in the instructions here, it just says mud guard installation, M6, hexagon socket head. Okay, Looks really simple, right? Well, I found these screws, no problem. Problem is, you want to find these little rubber bushings first, and then you want to kind of squeeze them, and then just kind of insert them right in that hole, and then this little bushing will go right inside. Now you're ready to mount up. Yeah, so I just thought I'd break things up a little bit. I'm just taking a little break from this and kind of looking over the owner's manual. It actually is a pretty comprehensive owner's manual. You know, I was pretty surprised. It's got got quite a lot of information in it. I like finding little cool little things in here. Didn't know my bike's got a front winker. Also has a rear winker. Didn't know my bike had winkers. Also, I was just kind of looking over the maintenance schedule, try to get an idea what they suggest for oil changes. These are small engines, and you want to change the oil in them often. I mean, you're only talking about a quart or a little more usually in these little engines. But so I was reading up here. I think they got a major typo here. 1.3 liters of SAE 15W40 gasoline into the engine and restart. So that's kind of a pretty important little typo there. You know, I'm just saying. And just to be clear, folks, this is a typo. This is supposed to read oil and not gasoline, okay? Do not put gasoline into your engine oil compartment. Only put oil. I guess I have to say it. All right, so I got to get the turn signals, the front turn signals fastened in. I was kind of wondering how on earth this thing comes off. Well, come to find out, Phillips head screw right in there. So there's one on this side. You're gonna have to turn the handlebars all the way to get to it, and then turn the handlebars all the way to the other side. And there's another one. So those need to come out before this headlight cover here can come off. So there was just the two Phillips head screws that holds this whole unit on here. And of course, now we can get to the nut and washer that's located on the wire back in there. And then we can get these turn signals mounted up. So we'll do that right now. And then we'll go ahead and just get this headlight mounted back up. All right, so it's starting to look like a bike. I got the battery charging right now, but while that's charging, I got a few things to finish up here. One is got to add the coolant. This goes directly into your radiator here. And then on this side, this is your coolant reservoir right here. So we'll use the provided coolant right now, and we'll see if we can't top off that radiator. All right, so next we're gonna just remove this panel right here, just so we can get it ready to accept the new battery. Okay, with just these three screws removed, one down here, one on the end, and one on top. This one I believe is attached to this. This should, yeah. And here's our battery compartment. So it looks like just one screw here. Battery should pop right in. Negative, positive. Well, with a fresh new battery installed, I guess there's only one thing left to do. Well, let's see if we have power. I did put some fuel in it. Let's give it a try. Wow, it sounds really nice. Hey, thanks for stopping by. And if you're interested at all, go ahead and subscribe, because I plan on building out a playlist on this bike. I want to run it quite a bit this fall. Until then, as always, be safe. It's a little cold. but it's a beautiful night out. I guess I probably should take this for a ride.